What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Great Lakes Outdoors podcast. Today, me and Fonzy are sitting here. What's going on, Fonz?
Not much, man. Happy to be rolling again consistently.
I know. We did one last night, doing one tonight. Our special guest in-house, finally, Ryan Bowman. Ryan, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Not too bad, man. We've been talking about it for a little while now. We just kind of got introduced in Bay City there. I feel like we both knew about each other for a while now, but just didn't really, I don't know, reach out to one another. I think literally the first time I talked to you was Bay City, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was kind of a freak thing, and you were there with us, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. I met you guys.
Yeah, and then
Him and his wife.
For Point Moulet this year, we had Riley and Brendan here that kind of did a podcast about rain and which we'll get into a little bit more. But for the people that don't know you, Ryan, you want to kind of just introduce yourself and who you are and what you represent?
Yeah, absolutely. So, name's Ryan Bowman, owner, operator of Rain Guided Outdoors. My wife is co-owner of Rain Guided Outdoors. We're based on the southwest side of Michigan. We end up running from state line, Indiana, Michigan state line, all the way to central Michigan. Run waterfowl hunts, spring turkey hunts, go out to northwest Missouri and run spring conservation snows.
This year was the first year that you kind of started full time?
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know about the conservation piece. You do that through like Rain?
So Rain is partnered up with Whiteout Outfitters.
Okay.
So Clay O'Rourke,
Yeah.
him and I have been friends for, 13.
They're a
14 years.
well-known outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Very, very
Yeah.
well-known outfit, especially in the snow goose conservation world. But Clay and I have been friends for good and in between 13 to 15 years, and he's taught me almost everything I know about snow goose hunting. I mean, he helped me actually get my first guide job. We went out to Ontario, Canada, beat the living piss out of honkers, and then through one of his mutual friends, he actually used to guide with back in the day, Larry Robinson with Coastal Wings.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. He actually owns a lodge down in
Oklahoma?
southwest Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yep. And I ran for him for about 4 or 5 years.
Man, that's pretty awesome. I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's where Joe and Nick J guide
Yep.
at, right? Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. We've actually had a few hunts together, and I mean, Joe and Nick, like two peas in a pod. You don't even know what you're gonna get with them hour by hour.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
That's exciting.
A lot of people know, obviously, like Joe Hines from like a Snapchat and stuff. I mean, he's made one hell of a name for himself over there in Minnesota.
Oh, absolutely.
And in the calling world, obviously. But I always thought it'd be fun to kind of see what they're all about in the blind, because I feel like you said, like you don't know what's gonna happen or what's gonna be even said.
No, they're an absolute right. I mean, even there was one day we end up getting done with the hunt, friggin' pissing rain, about 30, 40 mile an hour winds. We're sitting on a frozen sheetwater field, and we end up getting done. There's like 14 guys on that hunt, and we end up getting back to the lodge. All of us get done, clean the birds, and I go back in the lodge. All of a sudden, Nick J walks around the corner in his vest and his freaking underwear. Like, what the heck are you doing, dude?
I think that's what's kind of funny about like the guys like that online. You know, you look at them and you almost kind of look up to them to an extent.
Yeah.
They're just normal guys out there. You know what I mean? Like they're doing
like,
the same stuff that me and you are doing out there, and it's just when you actually see it, it's like
It's kind of refreshing.
It's like Trump walking around in his underwear. It's like, but at the same time, he's just a normal dude at the end of the day.
Seeing people that are as sane, if not more insane as you.
Yeah.
They're just walking around loving life. And
it's like there is somebody else like me out there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not that fucked up. I'm not that weird.
Especially with Nick J and Bucky. You ever hear that story?
No.
Oh,
I don't know any of these people.
Romance between those two.
Yeah. I'll have to show you afterwards. It might be rated R.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, some P. Diddy style stuff.
Hey, that's dude. All right. That whole
you like it.
I know that
You were gonna say
situation's
that.
funny to me. I joke about it a lot. I do think it's pretty
But
fun.
by the video, Nick J did look like he was willing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll have to show you.
That's what it's all about.
But so Ryan, like you started. I mean, what made you start Rain?
So, based on pretty much the start of Rain is, I mean, I've guided for multiple different outfits. I
Mhm.
mean, the longest person I ended up guiding for was Larry Robinson. And I mean, throughout the years, I saw the ins and outs of what goes into guided hunts and owning an outfitter, and especially operating. Well, one thing that I wanted to do, especially back in Michigan, was offer fully guided waterfowl hunts,
Right.
which ended up leading into spring turkey hunts.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of what led that drive was just my passion and having my wife backing me every step of the way, even when it was rocky.
Right.
And I mean, let's just be honest. The whole entire hunting industry and waterfowl world, I mean, it'll test any single relationship.
Oh, all day long.
Definitely will.
But the biggest thing is that with having that passion of loving, eating, sleeping, breathing, waterfowl hunting is being able to incorporate not only the Lord, but like with our faith, we can pretty much blend both those together in every single hunt that we end up having. And we end up wanting to provide a learning style outfit rather than, hey, we're going to take your money,
kill,
and everyone's going to have unrealistic expectations because they end up watching too many YouTube videos.
Right.
And it's like we want to end up teaching every single client that ends up coming in, no matter what age, no matter what experience, but being able to show them the ins and outs of what goes into every single hunt, setting the decoy spread, scouting, being able to read a map like Onyx.
Right.
Being fully transparent.
Yeah, being fully transparent, fully authentic, and being genuine with every single person that comes in. Because, I mean, like what we were talking about earlier, you can learn something different from every single person. And as long as you take something away from not only every person, but every hunt, you're going to end up having more tools in your tool belt. And with us being transparent with every single person, it's put us in a position where we're not only growing, but we are having steady, genuine relationships with every single client that comes in to Rain Guide Outdoors.
That's awesome. That's really well said.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big thing, and I'm kind of glad you touched on that. First, Michigan in itself, and I could be wrong, it could be the whole country, but like the whole guided license this year, it's changed a lot.
Oh, a lot.
What is your opinion on that?
I mean, obviously the government's always going to try to end up making a quote-unquote honest dollar.
Right.
But they're going to end up trying to take more from the consumers of the sport. But in my eyes, I think it's a great stance for them to take, because it's going to end up keeping the wannabes and the fakes,
right,
and the people that do it all for the wrong reasons out.
I feel like
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the biggest thing is like the guy that has the one field that loads up maybe twice a year and he baits the shit out of it and thinks he's a guide for doing that. It keeps those guys out of the picture. Because, I mean,
there's people that do that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
For 2 hunts a year, they only book 2 hunts a year.
Well, I mean, they'll hunt the same field nonstop.
Oh,
like
I got you.
Like they'll just bait
and just shoot it up.
They'll bait the shit out of the field, so they just keep on coming back.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And just because they have that one field,
yeah,
in half time, it always seemed like it popped up in like September.
That's crazy.
Like September,
people will go
October.
to that lengths, eh, Ryan?
Well, it's when
that's sad.
It's when everyone that normally deer hunts, wants to get out and do something because they've been cooped up doing a honeydew list or going out to the beach or the lake, going on the boat. They're just tired of the same old thing.
Yeah.
They're ready to get out, kill something.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And they'll end up going to whatever extent it takes, legal or illegally, to end up getting their bag.
I mean, think about it. What I say the other day,
that's gnarly.
a lot of these guys, the normal guy will understand it, but a lot of these guys will just start taking pictures from different angles or posting them at different times.
You were telling me that.
Just to make it look like they're just murdering the birds when it's the same hunt, just posted over and over and over again.
That's wild.
It's just,
that's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's
think about you're a grown man and that's where your brain's at. That's pretty sad.
Yeah,
childish.
Very 100%.
You know what's even sadder is when you're actually doing it legit and you're competing against those kind of guys.
Well, especially with the position that I'm in right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
pisses me off.
Like, to be honest with you, this year has absolutely been amazing. September was absolutely lights out.
Good.
We piled up the birds. But as soon as regular season came around, everything just came to screeching halt.
Right.
Based on weather and bird migration. Like with all of our locals that are around right now, so with all the birds that are around right now, it's either locals or birds that have migrated in September that are still around. We don't have the weather right now to get fresh birds. And everything right now is, we got weather, what was it? Mid-50s to low 70s right now.
Right now, but I think it was last week.
It's going to be like that the next 10 days.
Yeah.
Last week we got pretty low, though. At night, anyway. I think it was...
We're going to float around
29.
41 and 42 at the lowest in these next 10 days, I believe.
But the majority of the wind throughout the week
is south winds. Yep, has been past 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear we were getting some weather up north, though, like in Canada. I was seeing some videos of some like kind of crazy blizzards. What part of Canada? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if it's our birds or a different, different source of birds or whatever it may be. But going back to it as well, you touched on a point where I'd never even really thought of it as like the YouTube scenario. You got like a Bobby guy that's running Sandhill Flyways. That's seems like from the outskirts looking in, that's doing a pretty dang good job with like the YouTube and kind of just all showing people like the ins and outs of it all. But then you got these guys that are in Kansas, Dakotas, or up in Canada somewhere just piling the birds up, and these younger guys and older guys and girls, whatever, are watching this, and then they come to Rain Outdoors, and it's like, well, we're in Michigan. We're not there.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't understand the flight patterns, because a lot of these guys, I feel like they might only be coming out a time or two a year, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, but that's all they know with hunting wise. They just know to show up in the morning and shoot. That's got to be kind of a tough thing to balance, I guess.
It is.
Day in and day out,
Especially having guys from different states.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we've got guys that normally end up going to, the southern states, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. North Dakota, South Dakota. It's like there's so many different hunting scenarios in every single state where, yes, Michigan is a creeper state for a waterfowl destination, but with being in a position where we are offering a fully guided experience, you have no idea what's going to come from it at all. And based on every single client that ends up coming in, it's the same conversation to start off. You are booking for the experience. The kill is an added bonus because you're coming in. We are doing whatever we can to provide a stress-free experience for you guys, to where we're not only setting the standard in client care, but we're setting the standard across the board for the experience of waterfowl hunting in Michigan. And we're slowly leading that into our other branches in other states. For example, like Northwest Missouri, it's like that's been growing. Clay's been growing that like crazy last few years. And the more and more that Rain grows and that whiteout grows, him and I are working together and being able to incorporate the same faith-based businesses and outlook, and being completely transparent with everyone. That's helping the growth increase so much quicker.
Isn't it crazy when you do shit the right way?
It is. It is. I mean,
But finding the right people, though.
That too. Like we met Riley and Brendan. Your two are they your two main guys?
They are our two main guys.
Yeah, and they're just phenomenal dudes, man.
But I mean, like, name, I'll say 3 people that have the same like waterfowl relationship. Excuse me, like their best friend or a really good friend for, would you say 13, 14 years?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Name three duos like that. You damn near not even name one.
Yeah.
Once you get that click together, I mean, it's kind of one of them unstoppable things where you're seeing eye to eye with it all, and you guys are just rolling with each other. You help. I mean, it's
like almost how the only people I could think of is like Ryan and Justin. They don't guide, but they've been together since they were kids, and they have each other's freaking back no matter goddamn what.
Right.
And it's them against whoever, you know, like they're still hold that mindset no matter what.
Yep.
And it's just, me and you've had this conversation before. It's just finding like-minded people. It's a dime a dozen anymore. It's so hard to find people that are genuine, people that have the same passion, want to put that work in and reach that same outcome after every hunt.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to be able to hear, you know, friendships and stuff going that far in this industry. It's just, I don't know, impressive.
It is.
It's very cutthroat nowadays, and social media doesn't do a very good job with it.
No, but I think you guys, from what I've known of you, you know, meeting you today and hearing your story, I think just you keep doing what you're doing. You can't be doing any more the right way, if that makes sense.
No.
And that's what people remember, man. You know what I mean? People buy from people they like. That's what my dad's always said. So they like the whole experience, and the experience part is what you're selling, and the bone, like you said, the kill's a bonus. Dude, you guys are killing it then, you know?
Well, it's like, especially for all of our, corporate guys, it's like they're coming to us because we are completely transparent with them.
Right.
I mean, like I said before, we're not in it for the money. The money is just a bonus for the work that we end up putting into it. And with everyone that has come in on a corporate hunt, they're coming back.
Right.
Not just one time a year. They're coming back multiple times a year. And, I mean, we've got guys coming back for their second or third year.
Yeah.
And it's like the more and more you end up working together with these guys and being able to put yourself in a position to be humble, where you are asking your clients, what can I do to better your experience? And normally what they will end up saying, I mean, it can get under your skin a little bit, but it's based on if you are going to allow yourself to let your ego get in the way.
Get in the way of that.
Now, if you don't end up, so if you allow yourself to be humble, you are going to take more away from what advice they give you that is going to help
your business
so much.
Yeah. It's good. You got a good mindset, man. You'd be good in business.
A lot of people overlook that, though, man.
You would.
This is our 4th year.
Is it? No, I mean, like in a corporate, you'd be good. You're good.
We're working at it. We're working.
I got
year by year, day by day.
Good shit, dude.
I think a lot of people overlook that, though, like that kind of mindset.
Oh, all day long. I don't think people are mature enough to have that mindset in today's world with social media and the way that it influences.
Well, it's because they care more about their appearance on social media.
Right.
And social media is just a mirror image to make yourself feel good.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's really truly all it is.
I get people messaging me almost every single week. Hey, what's going on? Why aren't you posting much? I don't have to post much.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't care about social media. Most of my business comes from word of mouth. I'd say at least 75% of my business comes from word of mouth.
That's a great statistic.
Because of the relationship that I have built with people in the last 4 years. I mean, I've been waterfowl hunting for 17, 18 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of what people know of me is like, especially in the goose hunting side of things, before I ever started an outfit was late season goose. I beat the absolute brakes off of them year after year after year. I had a lot of good friends along the way. We had a lot of good hunts and good relationships. We end up learning a lot from each other, and that's what helped my name grow. I mean, really, when I was younger, everyone, including myself, and we were saying this earlier, part of the dick swinging, the dick swinging club.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wanted to be the biggest dick on the board. Well,
we're white to start off.
Hey, you know what? Let's see you pop a blue chew.
Yeah, right.
Not sponsored by them guys,
Nope.
but if you guys want to,
Yeah,
I'm down for
we
it.
wouldn't say no.
Yeah, I don't think you guys were there Saturday night at the hotel
Bay
up
City?
in Bay City.
No, we
Oh,
won't.
it was
we
a
left.
riot. It was a riot.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
I think we were just there for the day, and we went to because my
Yeah.
cousin lives right around the corner.
His
from
cousin's
there.
got a nasty pad, dude. Just in-ground pool, like, sick.
So yeah,
But
we
did
went
it have a
swimming.
grill in the pool? That's the real question.
No, right next to it, but no,
The
not.
hotel did.
What? A grill in the pool? Are you dead ass?
Oh, yeah, dead ass.
Like
Well,
on the
that's
side
also,
of the pool?
That's
No,
also called Bay
in the
City locals.
Oh, I got
That's
you.
how
I
wild
got
it
you.
got.
I
That's how
got
wild
you.
it
I
got.
got you. I was like, what? No way, dude.
Mhm.
That's actually a sick idea.
Yeah.
Grill
And,
while you stand in the water?
Yeah, that party ended up getting out of hand
Oh, I
very,
bet.
very quick.
I bet. That's a bunch of good old boys, dude.
Oh,
Us and Glenn always talk about that too. It's like you don't have that anymore with like
No.
these shows and stuff like that. Like people just joining together and like wanting to. There's no big. Let's all figure this all out together, like atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like it's just
let's put our opinions aside and put our pride aside and actually
care about one another.
care about one
and-
another and the growth of the sport and growth of the shows that we're at.
I mean, especially now too. I mean, I talked about it a couple times on here in previous episodes. Like our coyote season. I think we're only allowed, 8 or 9 months to coyote hunt now, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're slowly starting to pick away at what they're going to take, and people don't realize they're not going to give that back or anything.
Especially dove hunting.
Dove, crane, I mean, all that stuff around here. I mean, that's stuff that could be done, but there's just not enough backbone. And I think the biggest thing around here is there's too many people that talk about stuff and talk about doing stuff and giving back, but not enough people actually doing it and giving back, like the local DUs or just even like your local like we had Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association and we try to help out, and they do like the youth hunt and they give back to Point Moulet and do all that. Get affiliated with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just anybody could do it. It's scary what it's all coming down to, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. What made you choose Rain as the name?
It's a good question. We, I mean, my wife and I at the time, we were obviously dating, and I mean, you guys know Chris Uval.
Mm-hmm.
So him and I were really good buddies back then, right at pretty much the brainstorm of Rain, and I mean, I was full force, 100%. This is what we're doing starting 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all trying to find a name. And obviously, I mean, just like starting any business, you end up going down the list of names that have already been taken.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take some time. And this was probably like 3-4 months of searching. And like, you know what? I'm just going to take some time off and just resonate on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, being that grew up in the church and being a man of God, I'm like, you know what? I've based a lot of my life decisions, my big life decisions, on spending time spiritually in the Lord. And I mean, coming up with Reign is more He reigns. Lord reigns, Jesus reigns. He is the leader of not only my life, but my family's life. And with being able to grow in him, it's helped not only my relationship with my wife, my kids, but my business. And I mean, a little side note, absolutely loved drinking Rain energy drinks. So that kind of had a little part to play in it as well. But with being so faith oriented and faith based, that's the name that stuck the most. And I'm blown away with where we're at now because of it, because we end up going through our safety speech before every single hunt, and we have a morning prayer, and then it's time to hunt.
Good stuff.
And being able to allow yourself to be vulnerable and pretty much put the bug in someone's ear of, you know what, you don't have to go through life alone, because no matter what, you're going to have God by your side. And as long as you have God by your side, there's nothing you can't get through.
Right.
And I mean, there's a lot of times where it's like we end up going through life where, you know what, I can do it on my own. I can make all this money on my own, can end up building this house on my own, like anything, absolutely anything. But you know how stressful that is? It's a lot easier to spend time in worship in the word and be able to put all your faith and trust in the Lord, and he will end up guiding you through the way. And being able to set the name of Rain Guide Outdoors, we are not only guiding these hunts, but we are bringing these people along in being children of Christ. And with us being able to allow ourselves to be vulnerable and be able to pray with our clients, it's a very, very uncomfortable feeling, but we end up bringing more people to the Lord that end up becoming our long-time friends.
Yeah.
And that's really the base of how we end up coming up with Rain Guide Outdoors.
Wow. That's
honestly probably one of the best like background stories
I've
heard from.
Most positive. It's very hard to have faith in. Did you have this at first? Like, I kind of got over that now, but it was hard to have faith in something else other than myself, like you said.
It is.
Because it's an uneasy feeling.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
but you just have to get over that hump.
Especially being young. I mean, being in your early 20s, you're like, man, you know what? I can
do whatever. Yeah.
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I can make it through whatever I want to.
Right.
Well, you know what? You know how much harder life is going to be
at
that point? Go ahead. Think.
Oh, yeah.
Think that
I've been there.
Think that you're the man.
I know exactly the feeling you're talking about, because I've been there.
So fast.
Oh, yeah, so fast. Because life has, humbled me quick in those ways.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'll be the first one to say I'm still kind of that way to an extent, like with like the whole scouting, and I think it's more of like being used to it in previous years for me, and it's hard to adjust to people that are wanting to help out. But yeah, man, that was kind of, that was deep there. That was.
I know exactly what you're talking about though, because I had a very hard time having that, just putting faith into something else. But when you let go, it is so much less stressful.
Oh yeah.
I'd say about 2 years ago, I got really back into it, and I ordered like a Bible that was kind of dumbed down. You know how they have the ones that are not with the wording, and that was what really got me to read. And
yeah.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. And it's funny because I know the feeling.
That's I don't know. But like I said, that was pretty deep, but I think a lot of people get lost in not cherishing the moments that you get to spend out there, the sunrises.
Dude, with your best friends. Like with the guys that you laugh with all the time, you just get to go make more memories. Like that's what it's about. And God forbid, like anything could happen at any minute. Nobody knows, driving somewhere, whatever, dude. And that's all people remember of you.
Well, and I think that like for us wise, like, we take a lot of people out that, they might be able to go out. I call ourselves the biggest non-profit guide service in Michigan. That's what we basically are. And over the years, I would probably take 12 to 15 people out per hunt. You text me, come on in. You want to hunt? Your first time ever hunt? Come on in. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm starting to kind of see over the years, like, who actually care and who actually enjoys being out there. I want to take people that actually enjoy being out there and appreciate the time on the road scouting and
the hard work that you end up putting.
Yeah, man. It's just, it's hard to find good quality people nowadays. It really is. And don't care about posting every single pile picture. I mean, I think I've posted maybe 1 or 2 this year. And it's not because I needed to prove something to anybody, but the action shots. I mean, I want to see the smiles on people's faces. Those are the pictures I want to be posting. You know what I mean? That's what I care about. I don't care about us shooting 8-man limit of birds or whatever it is. I could care less about that.
That's
stuff.
A bonus.
Right. One bird's a bonus.
Yeah.
If we get one living bird to decoy in our spread and we were able to shoot at that bird, or those guys are able to shoot at those birds, I'm happy with it. Like when we went out behind Brandon's house when Mike was there, the whole flock got up. The whole roost got up.
Oh yeah.
That first group decoyed perfectly.
Oh yeah. That was a lot of freaking birds at once, man.
I didn't have my gun out of my case until, I don't know, because they picked up and then swung back around and then landed again because there's a bunch of birds flying around. Once they landed again, I was like, oh, I guess I might as well get my gun ready. Just because people don't take that moment in. Yeah. I like to just take that moment in and realize like what you're actually doing and the opportunity that is given to you. Like, how many people can say we got a field every single weekend and we could present somebody that isn't as lucky as us on a field hunt with either a permanent blind or just any field in general, just to see a bird out there. There's only a select few. And to be like, to acknowledge that, I mean, I don't know. I don't think people see it that way.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I don't know. Got kind of on a tangent there.
But I think it's good, too, because we show the kids, like, that don't know a lot or that are just getting into it our way of hunting, which I like to think is we do everything the right way, how it should be done. You know what I mean? And I think putting that type of image in a new guy's head is like, okay, that's what they're going to base their pedestal off of now. That's going to be their standard, is the way they hunted with us, and they're going to go do things the same way and show their buddies the same way that they, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's
domino effect.
Yeah, it's even adults as well. It's like there's guys that are in their, I mean, they're in between 40 or like 40s and 60s.
Yeah.
That have typically always deer hunted or they've upland hunted.
Right.
They've never been duck and goose hunting. And with being able to present that opportunity to them and with them actually putting trust in you to take them out and for them to experience that, it's honestly a blessing in disguise. It's like they're putting all their faith and trust in you.
Yeah.
To obviously
there's a
be
lot
around you with the firearm.
Yeah.
But and also other folks as well. But with you being able to present the opportunity to a new hunter, that's what's gonna keep this
provide
sport,
them that chance.
Yeah. It's gonna allow this sport to grow.
Yep.
That's one thing Rob from Combat Waterfowl, we were just talking to him not too long ago. He just got his buddy out that was like in his mid-40s.
Yeah.
Never waterfowl hunted before. And finally talked him into doing it. And it was like, it's almost like getting a new dog when everything starts to click. Mm-hmm. And like you kind of see it in the person's head. Like, it's like, oh man, like he likes this, man. Like he's into this. He understands.
So they're asking a ton of questions and shit.
Well, just not even the questions, but like you just see their eyes, man. Like just the eyes are like the smiles and understanding. Like, you know, we don't got to kill a limit. We could leave here early. Like just the understanding of it all. Like, like you said, it's a blessing in disguise, but a lot of people don't slow down enough to realize it. It's right in front of you. You just got to slow down and see it, man. And I think that's another reason why, like, I barely take my gun out of the case is because I want to slow myself down after all week of maybe stressing out with putting people on birds or whatever it may be, but just to see it all actually happen. and it's just like a sigh of a relief.
Yeah.
You know, it's
where all the hard work that you put into
man.
it.
I know how that feels.
Finally,
it's yeah. I don't know.
come to face.
I like scouting more than I do shooting, to be honest with you.
Now that I got where our fields are, I love being out there now. I don't want to drive around aimlessly.
Scouting for me, you learn more off of scouting than you do anything, in my opinion. Reading the birds, what they're doing out in the fields, how they're set up in the fields, where they're set up at, where they're coming from, what they're like, the sound is. That you know what I mean? Just like being able to read the birds, like you said in the beginning of the podcast, there's always a moment, whether it's scouting or hunting, that you can learn and take a bit from and take it in.
Always.
That's what I would tell a lot of apprentices going through the electrical school.
Have that open mind set.
You're going to work with a lot of journeymen, right? Mm-hmm. You keep a little book with you, and you write down just a piece by piece by piece of maybe this journeyman's better at bending pipe, or how he even just tapes up the wires to be able to pull it before. But you take that one little piece and then you make it your own.
You build your own character with it,
and you
deal.
Take all them pieces together, man.
Yep.
It's crazy what will come about it.
Oh yeah, but the thing is like I don't think a lot of people have that open mindset though, to be that way, to be vulnerable in that way, be like, hey, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Can you show me? You know what I mean? Like I really don't know, but you learn so much more when you're like that.
Well, and on
you just
top of,
build.
Another sponsor I wanted to bring up was Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association. Whether it's from youth hunts to cleaning up the beach to dinners, anything just in the community alone is an amazing thing to team up with these guys, and can't speak highly enough of them. From everything that they do, it's absolutely amazing, and I highly suggest anybody out there that has a local DU or just a small association, highly suggest teaming up with those guys and giving back as much as you possibly can, because if not, who knows what the future holds. Like I said, greatly appreciate those guys letting us team up with them, and I really cannot express how excited I am for the future. But back to the podcast.
And I mean, leading off of that, it's one thing that we end up doing. I want to say it was about it had to be about 4 years ago, where there was a Learn to Hunt program with the R3 program and National Wild Turkey Federation out of Pierce Cedar Creek Institute. That's only like 15, 20 minutes from my house. And we ended up taking out people from early to mid-20s to mid-60s that have never hunted before.
That's pretty cool.
And this was the spring turkey season.
Yeah.
And they just want to see something. If they end up pulling the trigger on a Jake or a Tom, they don't care. They're there for the experience. They're there to learn step by step by step what goes into every single hunt, how to end up calling birds, like how to locate where they roost, where they pitch down, their behavior, why they are where they are, and with being able to call them in on their own, they end up learning more in the hands-on than they do like a YouTube video.
Right.
Where, granted, a lot of us waterfowl hunters have learned how to duck and goose call from YouTube, especially in the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
But what helps people more that I've seen, this has definitely helped myself. I'm more of a hands-on learner, but people learn better hands-on than they do just watching someone through a screen.
Yeah, all day long. You have to experience it full force. Think about like the 70s and 80s. They didn't even have that shit.
Nothing.
You had to learn via watching or being hands-on.
Yep.
Well, I think that's like kind of going back to him, what Nick Jay's got going on over there with like being able to call him up and walk through somebody's calling aspect of it all, he's kind of got a gold mine going on.
Yeah.
That not a lot of people are able to touch. Like you can buy lessons through Zoom with him. And Nick J, man.
Oh, I've seen that before. He's okay. That's who you guys are talking about. I've seen his stuff on Instagram. Yep. Yeah,
and that's the same with Joey Fasalo.
Joey Fasalo with Midwest Flyways over there. Yeah, same thing. He does, like, I think didn't he learn from Nick J or Joe?
He did learn from Nick J.
Okay, that's what I thought when he first started getting into it, and then obviously the Midwest Flyways took off and stuff. Yep. But
he teaches really well. That guy, that Vassallo guy.
Yeah,
I've watched his shorts and stuff. Like, he dumbs stuff down for people really well.
He really breaks it down.
Yes.
To where anyone can understand.
Yes.
From any
age group.
Yeah. Age group. Any level.
Right.
Well, I think the biggest thing with those the calling, and I think this is why I picked out like Nick or said Nick's name. It's a one-on-one lesson with him. Yes, Joey does a good job, a fantastic job at explaining stuff, but a one-on-one, everybody calls a little bit differently.
Right.
Exactly.
And to be able to understand that you can't do this, but you can still make that noise through that instrument and get the same results. I mean, that's one thing, like the one-on-one is killer with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole... buddy calling like we were talking about.
Yeah, team calling.
I mean, that's a huge thing just in the hunting world in general. Like when me and you started hunting, we didn't know how each other called or anything like that. Or even when like Justin and Ryan started hunting with us and we started hunting with those guys, we didn't know how each other were. But just to be able to go over time, and I think this is a big thing too when like you're talking about your buddy that you've hunted with or that you've known for 10, 15 years, whatever it may be. That time, like, you're still learning off of each other, probably still to this day.
Oh, man.
Oh, absolutely.
And you have that bond where you're able to do that.
But like, you could probably look down the blind and look at him a certain way, and he knows what you're talking about, and you know what he's talking about. And what, you know what I mean? Like, now, it's just one of them things.
Now it's even just a look. It's like...
Right. Shut the fuck up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, thinking back on that is the beginning of that friendship. I was in my 5th or 6th year of waterfowl hunting. I felt like I knew a lot. Hunted with him the first time. I realized I didn't know nothing.
Right.
And, I mean, right at that 5-6 year mark is when I really started learning more on not only how to hunt ethically, but how to call ethically and read birds. Like, I didn't know how to read birds. Right. I didn't know how to do anything.
Wasn't really a thing.
Besides, like, oh, well, go and set out some decoys. Well, why are you setting those decoys like that? They're not into the wind. What do you mean they're not into the wind?
Right.
You have to position your decoy spread for birds to land into the wind. I'm like, oh, gosh. Well, I mean, now... back then he used to call. I mean, we were with, he had a good group of guys. And to be honest, I learned a lot. Well, pretty much everything I know from him in that group. And now him and I have been hunting the last 4 years together. We end up just going on a hunting hiatus and we end up going through life, which everyone does.
Right.
But, now it's I'm the one running the hunts. I'm the one calling, and he's like, "Dear Lord, dude, where the hell did this come? Like, where the hell did this come from? You went from being a mediocre caller to now I don't even have to bring my lanyard out.
The spark was lit.
Yeah.
However that was.
And it's like being able to bounce ideas and bounce information and be able to just help grow each other's businesses it's everything's come tenfold.
I think that's what, I mean, again, what the waterfowl industry is missing though.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general. Just helping each other out. I mean,
all day.
I wish it was, I always say that I wish I lived like back in my grandpa's time.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's the biggest, it's a strength and a weakness. in a sense with
it weeds out the weak pretty easily
with social media.
Right.
When it comes to social media, everyone puts on a
persona.
Yeah, everyone puts on a persona, and what they want to do is they end up wanting to show how they could be in one picture or one reel, and you're not being genuine. You're not being authentic. All you're doing is you're just painting a fake persona and showing someone that, oh well, I'm the best thing ever, and we can go down a rabbit hole with this one.
Well,
we really could.
I got two things to say about that. One, this is going to sound weird. Can you describe persona for me? Because I can't, and it just sounded good in that sentence.
It
sound good?
It's like your image. It's your image. That you put
I wasn't in the wrong for saying that.
No, in like a group setting, when you're in a group setting, it's like the image you bring, like the image you show.
Because I said that and I was like, man, I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you.
Oh man.
But the second one, I honestly forgot already. I'm not gonna lie.
He embarrassed himself.
Yeah, dude.
Well, like I said, persona threw me off, man. I said that.
It's that downriver education, man.
I was like, man, I don't even know what that means.
We got dudes playing craps in the bathroom, not going to class. That's what we do.
It is what it is. Yeah, I don't know.
It'll come to you.
Social media, in how that deflects people in their image, like you were saying, it's pretty nuts. And that's it came to me just now. You can make a pretty sick video off of one bird. You can make that one video if you get the right shots off of one bird. And that'll make you look like a superstar, even though you got no clue what's going on. Or
even if you're an outfit, you can post that you end up shooting a 10-man limit, and you end up having, quote unquote, you end up having 10 clients. Well, really, you end up having 3 clients and 7 buddies.
Or I got one better for you.
That's some snaky shit.
I got one better for you. Oh
yeah. I already know. That's some snaky shit, though.
You could shoot over 100 birds and have a buddy drop off about 70 of them and make it look like it's your hunt.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? That's
one of our good buddies, man.
Really?
That's a true story.
Really? People do this shit?
Yeah. Every day.
You know what I'm talking about.
Every day. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That's fucking sad, bro.
I'll put it this way.
People want to paint.
I'll stir the pot. I'll be the one. Corey up north shot 60 or 70 something birds. Got invited to the local feed mill.
This is that story?
Up north.
Yep.
To add the birds for a picture.
This is that story?
Yeah. And that special someone never tagged Corey?
Yeah, nothing.
Never.
What a fucking loser. I'll say that straight up.
I will say.
That's pretty fucked.
I will say, as a business perspective, it's not a bad way. But to not even promote something about like the other person, like throwing some time into it all.
Yeah. Sorry, I almost knocked Chris scared the
I
didn't know he was coming, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
But yeah, that happens.
That's pretty crazy.
Like, yeah.
That's pretty fucked up, though, in my opinion. That's wild, man. I didn't think people actually did that shit. From a business, I don't care. Exactly. I don't care from what perspective. That's wrong.
In my opinion, if is wrong. If you are a business owner and you own an outfit, it doesn't matter if you end up shooting 1 bird, 10 birds, 20 birds, whatever the amount of birds it is. You should be 100% transparent with your clients as you are on social media.
100% agree with you, because I don't condone that in any way, shape, or form at all. I think that's just fucked up.
Well, I'll break it down for you this
Doing
way
things
too.
for the wrong reason.
Right.
Think about this. Me and you only know what happens in our own state, and we barely even know what actually happens in our own
We
state.
find out late as shit.
Imagine the other guys.
Oh, God. I don't even want to think about it. I get
the
stressed out
guys
thinking about it.
that we looked up to growing up.
Yeah.
Think about how they got there. Think about what they've done to get their name on a platform like where they're at. I'm not saying any examples or anything, but just in general, a lot of these guys aren't where they're at for just doing the right thing all the way through. If you think about it, like that, they probably backdoored somebody or did something to kind of really get their name out there so people knew about them. And that's truth though. In reality,
it is.
Yeah, but guess what?
I
think I'm sitting with two MFers that haven't done that ever.
I'll tell you one of the biggest ones that I've ever heard in my life.
So there's people out there that aren't.
This is
Well, it's like
it ain't everybody.
And before I end up starting my outfit, my toes were stepped on by people that I consider brothers.
That's insane.
The thing is, that happens. That's a sport, and that's just people.
That's insane to me.
That's the wrong people teaching people obviously the wrong way, and it's pretty much what myself and everyone at Rain Guide Outdoors is working on doing. Is we are working on rewriting the narrative and being able to take people out and treat them the right way and do things for the right reasons.
Right.
And it's like, even for example, if you end up having a bad hunt, we do something.
Still making it good.
Well, we do something completely different than everyone else. Now, we don't do this every single time.
You don't have to give it away if you don't want.
No,
I'm just watching you.
I feel like I can be transparent.
Okay.
Because I've been blessed with the business that I've had because of my transparency and being able to take people out hunting, and if they end up having a bad experience based on weather and birds, well, you know what?
Come out for another hunt?
Yeah, you get to come out for another hunt. We don't want you to have a bad taste in your mouth. We want to treat everyone right. We want to treat everyone with respect, and we want people to be return customers. That's the biggest thing. Because you know what? I'll be the first one to say it. Michigan.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I already know what you're going to say. I already know what you're going to say.
No one knows what she's going to do hour by hour. No one knows what
she's a crazy bitch, do. Man.
And shoot, it could be 55 degrees tomorrow. It could be 70 degrees the next day. It could be freaking 32 and snowing.
I know.
The following day.
That's one thing.
It's hard to pin them. It's hard to pin anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a hard position that you're in for that, though, too.
Exactly.
Because you can't overlook the time spent on the road. No. The wear and tear on vehicles.
Oh, God.
The time away from family.
Yes. The strain on the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's awesome for you guys to do that. I'm not taking away from that by any means. But, man, that takes a lot to take somebody on another hunt with no money down just because of, it's at the end of the day, it's wear and tear and time spent, man.
Exactly.
Time is priceless.
For every single client on every single hunt, myself and my guys give 110% of our effort every single day.
No matter how tired, no matter how late.
Nope.
Yep.
No matter how sick we are going.
Yeah.
And we have the reputation that we do because of it. And I pride myself on that. I'll be the first one to say there's no one that will ever outwork myself or my team. And I will stand by that. And because I'm passionate. And every single one of my guys I have guys on my team now that were actually clients at the beginning, and they have learned so much with coming out with us that they are now a valuable asset to the company.
That's fucking awesome.
And every single one of us succeed together. I'm not the one succeeding. My wife isn't the one succeeding. Rain Guided Outdoors and every person that's a part of it is succeeding together.
That's awesome.
We all have an end goal.
Yep.
And we're all working for that end goal together. And thanks for turning that on. And with that being said, it's being able, like, going back to the transparency, with you being 100% transparent with someone, you're going to gain their respect a lot quicker than you are
beating around the bush.
Yeah, beating around the bush.
Oh, all day long.
I feel like that's kind of, I mean, you could probably speak on it more, like, coming into it this year wise. I feel like us as a group, and I'll try to speak third person again, which, like I told you guys at dinner today, I'm not good at it.
You did a decent job.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment, which it was. I guess it was a compliment. No,
let's make it 2 for 2.
Okay, so there is nobody else in this area besides probably Ryan and Justin and Robbie and those guys, which were basically, I'd say, almost one.
Yeah.
There isn't nobody there, though, that, again, like what you said, will outwork me with the scouting or trying to figure something out that, like, I told Fonz, I think probably the third week of season, I said, get ready, man, because it's game time now. Like, I'm done playing the games. We're going to kill every single weekend.
We're riding the wave, man.
But there's nobody that's going to work harder than me out here in this
all day
area.
Long. Yeah.
I'm not going to let that happen.
No.
If you want to try,
be my guest.
I'm gonna let you know. Yeah, be my guest, but I'm gonna let you know that I got another booster pack on the back right here, and I'm gonna keep on going with it all. Mm-hmm. So keep on going, but it's just gonna make me want to go even harder.
I can't, dude. Like you said, we have there's a good amount of land to look at where we're at. I don't even know what. What do you think that I know on my route that you gave me to start going? How much of the pie is that?
Maybe a quarter.
And I'm from here. That tells you right there. Like and what I drive is a lot. I'm telling you. So it's like I can't wait to learn the rest of that shit. It's just I don't know. I love scouting.
It's just like I said though, one of those things where you can act like you know what I got going on, but you ain't gonna know. Like that, I'm not gonna say any names, but that call that you were blowing, that we were talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of birds over there in that area every year. It must be loaded up over there, and it's like, that's what he texted me about. I said, I'll have to check it out. I haven't hunted over there one time yet this year, so I appreciate the info. Because he thought that we were hunting in this one general vicinity, and it's like, we haven't touched it one time, so you keep thinking what you want, but I got a bunch of cards in the back pocket, and I'll play every single one of them if I have to.
Exactly.
It's just one of them things, man. I mean, you know out of anybody, like, there's some tricks up the sleeve, man.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm learning a lot of, too, because I never got into the group shit. You want me to be honest with you? It's always been bullshit. All I've ever heard about some of these groups and some of the guys, the way they turn on each other and the way they backdoor each other, I never wanted any part of it. So I hunted with.
Well, even us, you heard about it.
Oh, yeah. Like before I knew Kyle, the things that I heard about Kyle that were completely fucking false, were from somebody else that, dude, it was just a whole, you know what I mean, situationship type deal. And so I always rolled solo dollar with my two buddies, and I kind of forgot where we were going with that.
The BS talk and the nonsense that goes behind it, the cards that are played.
Oh yeah. So I never got into the group shit. So learning a ton on that side, the card, I guess, game of it all. The I don't know, like the trickery and the mind game of it all. I guess it can be a huge mental fuck, you know. At times, there's a lot of people that want at throats.
Playing them like a puppet, man.
The puppet master, man.
And when it comes to scouting, it's all about learning your area.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I kind of got into. it's not learning areas is a big thing. But for me, I might not hunt a field for 2-3 years. But it doesn't mean I'm going to not contact that property owner a couple times a year just to make sure that I still have that relationship with him. Because once some birds show up there, I'm going to still have that field on lock, even though we haven't touched that field in that X amount of years.
Exactly.
And I think that's where a lot of people mess up with. Like we talked about it at dinner there. There was a guy that this previous weekend, kind of got at me with he lost all these fields, and I'm not even from around there, and here I am walking in the door. Obviously a lot of work and time spent out that way, but you can't burn bridges, man. No matter what, you can't burn the bridges. And again, it's just another card that people don't know how to throw.
No, not at all.
I don't know. That's I think that's one thing that is tough for me too, especially with like Alex coming in this year. Again, it's hard for me to just start handing stuff out.
Exactly.
Because
He does.
I mean, because everybody's had problems in this industry, right?
And I mean,
not saying that you're a problem with it, but like it's just
trust,
a mind thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things where
you built up a lot, dude. Like I know, I get that from both of you guys' side. You built up a lot to just be like, here you go. You know what I mean? I could fucking totally see that because everybody would have their wits about everybody.
Especially coming from my position with owning an outfit. It's being able to not only have the guys on the team to get the work done, but being able to trust every single one of them to not disclose any information on where we are at, what we have, or who we're talking to get these properties. And I mean, I'll be the first one to say it. The landowner is the only person that has to say on if you have hunting rights or not.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I brought that up during dinner tonight too. I mean,
so let me ask you something then. So to trust, but you've known, so it's different because you've known Riley and Brendan a long time. But do you think that the way that you have faith in the Lord and trust in the Lord help you have trust in other people to scout and do other things and hand off some of the responsibility?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, granted, I still have to spend my time to help shape them on how I get stuff done. So I have a couple new guys. They were kind of like part-timers last year. Mm-hmm. This year, they're more of they have more of a role to play in rain. And a lot of their job is based on scouting. Well, being able to show them what we have, what we have been trying to get on, and how we end up doing, like how we scout and pretty much how to learn the area is more of building not only my trust with them, but their trust in themselves to know where to go, who to talk to, and how to pretty much establish a plan, especially for having a hunt like the next day or the following day. Because, I mean,
you put a lot of trust in your guys on.
It's a lot. I mean,
that's a lot.
We have a lot of ground, and it's I'll be honest with you, I cannot be in multiple places
at once, so you have to do it.
Especially being miles and miles apart.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's properties that are hours apart, but it's being able to trust these guys to hit everything, pretty much every area that we have ground in, and be able to report back on what they're seeing, what they're not seeing, and being able to communicate on pretty much what area they're going to be in, and so that we're not having to cross paths.
Right,
because
right.
the more that you end up crossing paths, the more time that's
Wasted.
being wasted.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to speak for you, and I never will speak for anybody, but I'm going to kind of, I might say this wrong, contradict you on that, on what you're saying, like with the guides and stuff. There's got to be a trust limit reached, I feel like. You're going to go through like almost like an apprenticeship to an extent, and that once you succeed certain amount of things, that's when I'm going to trust you.
Yep.
Am I wrong on that one?
No, you're not wrong about that.
So I'm going to give you A, B, and C task, but I'm going to hope you get D and E
on your own.
And that's when I'm going to trust you, is when you hit those extra things without even knowing you did it.
Without asking.
Right.
Without asking you
That's
to do
just
it.
how bad you want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just have somebody come in, and I'm not saying this in like a direct way, because I know you just came in like last year wise or whatever, so I'm not saying it like towards you, but I'm just saying it in general. You can't have somebody come in and then just, here's my layout, man. Here's my map.
Expect them to know it.
Yeah.
Well, not even that, but just have the trust in somebody that.
Basically, Kyle's saying he doesn't trust me.
No. I'm
fucking with you. I winked at him.
But it's hard though, man.
It is. It is.
You can't show someone.
You think I don't fucking know that?
I know.
I was raised by a family like that, dude, where you don't tell nobody anything.
No, I know.
You've built a lot. There's a lot built between both you guys. Think about it. Think about how much time, effort, talking to, gaining trust from landowners, building what you're building and getting all these properties, and then just being able to take your baby, give your baby to somebody else and be like, here's everything.
Well, and especially in
if you didn't understand that, you're not right in the head. You don't think the same way that
right.
normal people should.
Well, and for you, Ryan, like, you're putting food on the table for your family, man.
Yeah.
So
Ryan's rent's due at all times.
So
I want to talk about a schedule being full.
Oh, dude, I can only imagine.
7 days a week.
I'm sure with it,
24/7.
That's a thing I want to kind of backtrack on. Maybe I shouldn't backtrack on it, but I will. About the I believe that. One of the biggest hunting groups, I guess, for deer hunting in the country.
Yeah.
They have a TV show. I'm not going to say no names, but their whole show is revolved around their family in Iowa. I'll say that. The biggest rumor in the industry is that the baby's not even the dad's.
I know this.
It's the camera
guys.
But because of the show, they want to keep it on going. And that's what I was saying about, you don't know the backstory of like how they got to a certain point in this industry. This industry, more and more that I get into it, I understand how political it is.
Crazy, ain't it?
And I don't, I was talking to you a little bit earlier before Fonzy got here. I don't want to say it's a douche move, but I'm almost kind of removing the people somewhat from around here because of the BS and the nonsense that happens, and putting myself with people that I'm putting ourselves as a group with people that support us and back us instead of just trying to drag us right now.
You want the right people in your circle.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And it takes a while to understand that, man. It really does.
I feel like you go through so many people to find the right people, though, at times.
Well, you do for sure. And that's that whole apprenticeship thing I was talking about with you might give them a piece here. I'm going to tell you A, B, and C, but let's see if you do D and E to really show me what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's more of a growing up thing. You know, I've been through a lot of groups and guys that I thought were my brothers at the end of the day. Well, life happens and shit hits the fan. you live and you learn off of that, and you just keep building yourself. You can never like keep yourself down on something that happens. You just keep learning off of it. You have a bad hunt, the birds don't want to work. I know, me too. And that was my phone that dropped. Birds don't want to work one day. Don't get pissed off at it. Just understand like why they didn't want to work, or like what do you think happened? Learn off of that for the next time that happens. This past weekend when we were wondering what we were going to hunt Sunday, to this day I can't tell you a day where we were successful on a time switch. On like the fall
when
back.
it falls, when it goes back.
I can't tell you a day that we were successful. I would have hunted, don't get me wrong, but I'm glad we didn't because
it would have been pointless. Not pointless,
it wouldn't have been pointless, but like it's just like the
you kind of already know the repetition of that schedule of when the
for
hour
our
goes
area,
back.
though,
that's
the
hour goes
thing.
back, right?
Our area, anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, they'll overlook, like when I first got into our area, and from this year, there ain't no birds in September.
No.
You might have like your 100 local birds, or maybe a few fox here and there from.
I was really surprised. I thought there would be, but there wasn't. Like in my head before I met you, like thinking about this place when I used to, be home and shit. You always thought there'd be a ton out here like that during early season, but there really wasn't.
But knowing an area, like you can't go through an area, scout it, say, oh, there's no birds here in September.
Yeah.
I'm not going there in October, November, because that's when the birds show up.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people even overlook that process of it all. They got a lot of birds in September. Well, they're going to keep pounding that area. Besides the one field that we haven't hunted one roost all year twice. If you think about it. Like, that's pretty impressive. We're in November right now. We haven't hunted besides one roost 2 times.
Yeah.
For some weekend warriors. I don't know. Looking at it, I mean, that's impressive to me.
It is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys will just end up hunting the same.
And pounding the birds right out of there.
Yeah.
The same area.
And wonder why the birds aren't working every weekend. It's like, well, maybe lay off of them for a week or 2, man. Like,
quit fucking hammering the same fucking fields. I know.
And then they wonder why the birds don't show up the following years.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's
it
crazy.
definitely is though. It's a lot to take in for somebody that's new. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. What couple more questions for you. I know it's getting late. When did you start doing the turkey hunts?
I actually started doing the turkey hunts. Was it our second year?
Was it?
Running? Yeah, we actually did like our first like big, quote unquote big turkey hunt was with Her Wilderness. They're based out of Minnesota, and we ended up having 4 women come in, and it was their first time ever turkey hunting, and we end up getting close. They were we got birds within 10, 15 yards, and just everything fell apart. We end up doing our job, but sometimes people miss, sometimes people get excited and get squirmy, but other than that, it was a great experience. But last 3 years been on it hard. Last year we had a 100% success rate.
That's awesome.
And especially with clients coming from Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas.
So you weren't putting clients on birds that weren't even in season yet, though.
Right. No, they were in season.
Yeah,
but
all of them were in season.
All of them were in season.
You weren't hunting a bird that that county was out of season.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's being able to explain to the client like not only the dates that they end up picking, but the tag that they need to be legal.
Yeah.
And it's setting them up for
success, not failure.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Setting them up for success.
I got you. Curious. Yeah, stirring the pot. Stirring the peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Oh, sorry. Wrong pot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a pot you dip your toes in.
turkey hunting's always tough though, man, because you start guiding turkeys. They're not a migratory bird, quote unquote. I mean, they move obviously, but they're not geese. So like for us wise, we always got to be smart with how many birds we're taking out from a certain area for the future wise. I mean, that's turkey hunting. I feel like is probably one of the toughest
things to guide.
I mean,
I could definitely see that after last year.
That's just my opinion. I mean, there's, like I said, they're not moving that far. So, I mean, you know what you have, how many, a fair amount of what you got. I mean, you're not going to see every single bird that you got on the property, don't get me wrong, but you know that there's probably this amount of jakes, this many toms.
Yeah.
You'll understand the general population of what you have.
Right.
Do you know how much he loves turkey hunting?
No.
I'd rather turkey hunt over bird hunt, like waterfowl.
Would you?
No.
Me either. I'm not there yet.
I'm sorry.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I shot that bird with him last year, and me and him were fucking high five. I was freaking out because just the way the turkey did it, perfect. I'm getting chills thinking about it, but yeah, I still get that adrenaline feeling. My heart pounds, but not like when a flock of.
So for me, turkey hunting though,
100 geese come in. You know what I mean? I don't know. Belly up.
I'm not guiding them, obviously. So I think that's like compared to, we'll say, 8 to 10 person hunt, compared to me and another person.
You know what? I see. Go ahead. I see where you're going with this. Go ahead.
It's kind of like a relaxing kind of thing where, it's like my getaway. It's almost like a deer hunt.
Yeah.
Perspective wise, it's like my relaxing time where it's not so much stress.
Yeah.
You can bounce
at all.
Property.
Right.
And if it happens, it happens. It's not 10 different people. Where the hell are the birds at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that might be a big reason for me too.
100%. I was gonna say, because I feel like you not have more fun, but when like me, you, and Goodman were out there, right? Like it's more of like a personalized experience. It's just us three out there, And
I think instead of calling it, let's say 15, 20 birds, it's one-on-one, mono. Let's go into the trenches and let's see who comes out. I mean, that's
you and old fucking what's his name? That one bird.
Which one is that?
Was that your bird or Paul's bird? Vaseline.
Oh, that's Paul's bird.
Oh, Paul's bird.
Yeah. Paul Vaseline.
My wife and I are still trying to get her one bird that we have been going after for 2 years now.
Really? Just a beast or what?
Oh, he's at least 4 years old.
Really?
Yep. Named him Big Boy, and dude, he is on a big piece of property.
Yeah.
Mainly a wide open field that has woods on both sides, and he runs the same exact tree line up and down every single day. He is smart.
So he's a slippery fucker, not just like times didn't align right. He's slippery.
He is one of the 2 birds I've lost sleep over. And
oh, that's crazy.
I normally don't end up getting my freaking tail handed to me by turkeys, but he has outsmarted me every single time. Every move that I have made that I thought was the right move wasn't. And I mean, I'm 1 for 2 on stubborn birds.
Yeah.
And my bird's on the wall.
You should ask my sister what she's
poor Lauren
going for her turkeys, man. No, don't ask her that. That was bad for me to say that.
My wife is, tell you what, my wife is a turkey hunting fiend.
Really?
That's her niche. Obviously, mine is goose hunting, but she's a.
Did she grow up hunting, or did you get her into it? Would you say?
I more got her into it.
Yeah,
and she dabbled into it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's more something that's become a big part of her life, and it's a way for. I mean, when we were dating, it was a way for us to bond.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Taking her out goose hunting, took her out duck hunting, took her out turkey hunting. Well, the first turkey hunt, she ended up shooting a freaking tom, ended up doubling up with Chris, at my parents' house, and
Chris.
It was a thunderstorm.
He's the one that we did a podcast with Matt at Bay City.
But it's just a way that we've been able to really, I mean, it's another
it's your guys' vacation almost.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a way for us to bond.
That was my second date with my girlfriend ever. She shot a deer at 152 yards. Her dad almost didn't let me go.
That's crazy because she misses the toilet sitting down on it. Man.
I know. You're telling me I got to clean that shit, man.
That's bad, man. She's the reason why I cut my thumb off damn near.
Yeah. Oh, leg hair. Oh, Sam Squinch.
Let me see. You see,
It's all because, dude,
good.
that's all because of my girlfriend.
So I cut it down to, I mean, you kind of see where it's like real, like raw at. We were cleaning geese one day, and he had these Milwaukee knives in the package. Well, I got mine out, and I started cleaning these birds up. Well, Sam Squanch over here started shaving her legs with the knife I had.
Dude, this knife is made to cut like 3-inch thick underground cable. So it's sharp as fucking, it's a fixed blade. Sharp.
Oh.
Like beyond sharp.
Yeah. I see you fiddling your thumb.
Yeah, no.
So I went, I said, I'm not touching that one. You got 18 pounds of
leg hair on it because she was shaving her leg with it.
I'm good. So I went to go get another one. Well, I went to go pull down on it, and it,
dude,
right across the tip of my thumb. That thing,
it was deep for how quick and fast he, dude. Yeah, it was nasty.
Well, I was pretty upset with that one. I don't know. There's another question.
Got off on a tangent there.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about legs.
You gotta have some of those.
I guess before we kind of wrap it all up, what is one thing for you that you could say about Rain Outdoors and what you've built around your name that sets you apart from everybody else?
What's going on, guys? I'm Dakota with Gator Decoys. So we're just going to give you a little brief overview of our company. So I made these awesome products called telescoping spinning wing decoy poles. In our company, they're called Gator poles. So if you have a Mojo or a Lucky Duck, whatever it may be, and you need to get over 4 foot tall, check them out. GatorDecoys.com. Also, for you guys hunting up north where it gets super cold and you're tired of beating your poles in the ground, check out our new bases that come out just for you guys. You can thread them into the ground with an impact and attach our poles on top, and you're good to go. Decoys also should be coming out soon this year. So keep us up, or we'll keep you up to date on our website and Instagram. Check it out.
Really, what you see is what you get, and no matter who ends up coming to our doorstep, you're going to be treated with respect, and you're going to be treated like family. And with every single person that ends up coming out to hunt with us, or just comes up to a booth at one of the shows, we're going to be extremely transparent with you, and like I said, we're going to treat you like family. But also on top of it is we also have companies that stand behind us that we represent, and they're also family related businesses. It's like, well, family oriented businesses, and they care about every person that comes to them.
Same beliefs, almost, kind of thing.
They have the same beliefs, and I mean, we are. One thing with us is like the companies that we have that back us. It's, I mean, between Banded Brands, Avery Outdoors, Apex Ammunition, and Last Flight Calls, it's every single relationship is genuine, and we all want to succeed. We all want to grow. We all want the sport and the heritage to grow and live on.
See a future.
Yeah. And being able to really not only advocate for one another, but also just have each other's backs. It's more of a relief in the end.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's one thing, like, even for this podcast wise, you know, I always talk about it and I preach it kind of is if I could reach 1 or 2 people per podcast and just teach them one thing that, you know, they're willing to try, or maybe they didn't know with like decoying birds, or maybe to get them not to sky bust or whatever it may be. I don't care about how many views we get at the end of the day. I just want one big happy waterfowl family.
Yeah.
And for somebody to learn something, because there's not enough people out there anymore with this cutthroat style that we are living in to teach somebody that's new. You know,
Gets overlooked.
A lot of these guys, man, they'll throw people to the wolves. They'll throw somebody out at a property where they're not really supposed to be at.
Yeah.
But they'll throw them out there just because it's like, well, you're dumb enough to do it.
Yeah,
it's not the right way to do it, man.
Private land tag on a public land area. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I've heard of those stories before.
Yep.
Yeah, me too, man. Just yeah,
It's not cool.
That happened up north. But I don't know. Like I said, it's just one of those things where like one big family at the end of the day, and I want to get back to the good old days. I mean, I know it's kind of a tough thing to say back to the good old days because the good old days are here. I feel like, and it's going to be.
It is what you make of it.
Right.
It is.
Right. What
It really is.
this is our good old days.
Yeah.
No matter
You know what
no
I'm
matter
saying?
how challenging it is, it's these are the
These are the
good old
years,
days.
dude. We're in
Like,
our 30s and
make
Right.
make
Our prime.
every single hunt worth it. Treat every single hunt like it's your last.
yeah.
And instead of being, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna shoot limit after limit after limit and just put up piles and it's, I mean, shooting limits is great and all. You feel awesome, but the days you end up getting your freaking tail handed to you,
Those are the days I want to see.
those are the
be honest
days.
with you.
Those are the days that you are going to remember for life. And it's also going to be the hunts that you end up taking the most from.
I'll say this. You're going to get out of that hunt what you want, though.
Yeah.
If you don't want, if you're just going to, like, kick yourself in the rear, because everybody's been at that stage in their hunting career where you don't shoot nothing that day and you're just beating yourself up over it. It takes a lot to kind of flip the switch on saying, okay, I wonder if I did this instead of that this morning or this afternoon.
Yeah.
If that would have made the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot
Maturity
of people that,
thing.
yeah, and I just don't think there's a lot of people that, you know, are there.
No.
But again, hopefully this podcast can kind of influence people to reach that point. I mean, there's stages of hunting that I'll talk about. You get out there and you're bloodthirsty, man. You want to just kill everything that's flying around, and you just want to kill. And then you start getting into Instagram or the Facebook, and you just want to post, and you want to be that guy on social media that people are like, oh man, like you got to check this guy. He's murdering the birds. We got to go hunt with that guy. And then there's a stage of just wanting to take people out. There's so many different stages like of the hunting, I don't know, lifestyle, I guess you want to say, that I think just a lot of people are getting stuck on that, just kill and
Post on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do we break that kind of pattern? You know what I think a lot of it is the shows, to be honest with you. I think the shows do a lot for people with like the entertainment, like with
I mean, they're meeting guys that they see on social media the whole year, and then they get to meet them in the summertime. And
but a lot of the guys, though, how many guys are actually putting the time in and actually talking to these guys and making them feel like there's somebody, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these guys are just kind of brushing people off. Like, man, who are you? I'm the one behind the booth. Like, it is what it is. I don't care about you.
Yeah.
You got to put that time back into it. You were in their shoes at one point.
yeah,
You have to make people feel welcome. It's like, I
Right.
mean, I'll be honest with you.
that's like your mentality, though. That's like your ego. If you view yourself as everybody else, it's like then you won't treat people that way. You know what I mean?
But what? Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
But what makes you different from that guy though? Just because you stand behind a table?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, I don't get why people think that they're so different from everybody else. When
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you were in that person's shoes and you wanted to learn and know what that person, like,
Did to get there?
the roles were reversed at one point.
Yeah.
It's like an apprentice. Like I always told apprentices again, never think that it's a stupid question, because I guarantee you at one point in time, every journeyman or guy above you had that same exact question.
Mhm.
They did not know that same exact thing. It's just the guys that actually want to teach and push like the youth into like the right way compared to the wrong way.
You're right.
I mean, it's a pretty crazy thing to be able to sit back and watch some of these shows and see the reactions of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty nuts. But like I said, sorry to cut you off.
I mean, it's honestly sad. It's like for obviously Bay City this year, I was hardly even behind the booth because
That's pretty shitty. You meant. No, I'm
well,
joking.
most of what I was doing was I was networking and being able to
Smart.
go and not only talk to friends from other companies that I've met throughout the years of not only being at shows, but just being a waterfowl hunter, but also being able to meet new guys like the guys at Gator Decoys.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I mean, that's kind of how we met, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I mean, you just kind of met with some old friends and we crossed paths finally. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just one of
Yeah.
those things where
Right at the GK booth.
right. It's you said it earlier where it's hard to look back and think where you're at now because you never thought you'd be
No.
here.
No.
And I think I said that recently to you or to somebody I know. I said, man, it's pretty crazy to think that, you know, for us, we had Miger come out and hunt with us. We got Sean Stahl coming out. We got all these guys that
Made a name for themselves in the industry.
and to think that like why come out and hunt with us? Like,
Right. We're just average Joes.
who the hell are we?
Right.
I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying though? It's like it's pretty crazy.
I definitely understand where you're coming from. It's for me, my biggest idol was Sean Stahl.
Mm-hmm.
When I understood what goes into waterfowl hunting, what goes into every single duck and goose hunt, Sean Stahl was the guy that I looked up to for years.
Mm-hmm.
First time I met him, I was absolutely blown away.
Starstruck.
I was starstruck, definitely fangirling over him, and he knows it. But I end up I met him my first year doing the Learn to Hunt program, and I mean our mutual friend was Corey Lucas, Cedar Run Decoys, and if it wasn't for Corey inviting me to be a mentor in that program, I never would have gotten the chance to meet Sean.
That's crazy because you guys are from kind of like the same area.
Yeah, I mean, we're an hour apart from each other.
But still, like, of
An hour
Sean
ain't
Stahl,
nothing, though.
that ain't
I
nothing,
mean,
dude.
Granted, he ended up hunting the Todd Farm
Yeah.
years ago. I've hunted the Todd Farm for multiple years.
Trav hunts it all the time.
Does he?
And we've never crossed paths. And, I mean, especially in the early 2000s. But when that day came where him and I met each other, he literally took me under his wing and he's like, "Hey, let's go out and check out the property that you're on." And I was like, "Have you ever been out there?" He's like, "Nah, but I heard it's super hilly." Well, sure enough, it was.
Right.
And literally, probably about 80 yards behind the blind was a straight freaking drop, straight cliff. But I mean, the next year. Actually, no, it was actually that, I believe it was that fall. We kept in touch, tried to get a hunt together. Just schedules wouldn't meet up. Then the following year, we end up, like, it all came together. It was on the split. And the unfortunate thing was, it's like I had a spot that was absolutely loaded up, ducks and geese. Boatload of black ducks out there. Normally,
Why they gotta be
ducks
black?
Yeah, why gotta be black, man?
Hey, you know what? They're special. They're special.
Oh, they sure are.
But I mean, between pintail and black ducks,
Yeah.
I mean, especially over on the west side, it's
The pintails especially.
awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's definitely a special treat when they end up coming in, but unfortunately, it's that pond ended up freezing up, and thank God we had a backup plan. We had 600 geese in a cornfield a mile away, and we ended up going out there. Well, lo and behold, guess who forgot their dang bibs?
Oh man.
Yeah, it was a cold hunt, and and we ended up going out there. Well, we never. God, I want to say we probably set up 18 dozen decoys, which is a lot less than what I really want to set.
Really? 18 dozen?
Oh, it's a freaking huge field.
full bodies.
Full bodies.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
We end up having
That's a lot of decoys.
We end up having some sleeper shells out there, probably about 6,000. But
damn, son.
We the field is literally a square mile.
Is it?
It is huge.
I got
See,
you.
I like
then.
that. I like those big spreads.
So do I.
The hard part though is to keep the hole. I feel like because like you can bunch all the birds together all you want, but like you got to space them out to an extent.
Yeah.
But to keep that kill hole right in front of you with that many decoys, I feel like that's kind of where it gets
wonky.
It is.
You can get weird and testy with it. I could tell.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
right.
I could see that.
But at the same time, it's like, so we end up going out there, and it's obviously been my freaking dream to hunt with Sean Stahl, especially
Right.
for geese. It's like the biggest thing. Like I've always wanted to hunt traffic with him, just hunt migrators.
right.
Well, lo and behold, we had no idea what we had in store that day. It was obviously on the split, and we didn't have any of our geese show up that were feeding in that field. We ended
Really?
up having birds migrating from the north because it was so cold out, and we ended up having over 5,000 birds migrating over us that day.
Holy
Every
smokes.
single bird that we shot were migrators.
Bigs.
Pulled down.
And
That's pretty sick. That's pretty fun. Dude, that's
we
like
worked
that's
and
sick.
worked and worked. Like it was honestly just Sean and I calling. And I mean, there was times that Sean would end up taking over.
Yeah.
'cause I'd be out of breath. There's times that I'd take over because Sean's out of breath. But it's like being able to experience, in my eyes, a hunt of a lifetime, especially with running guided hunts at that point.
Right.
That hunt was really more of a buddy hunt, and I took more away from that hunt just with being able to be on the hunt of a lifetime, what I've dreamed about, and at the
As a takeaway, the bits and pieces like we were talking about.
just every
You know what I'm saying?
it's
Yeah.
just, it is. And I mean, just every single flock was different, and
So it played out perfect how you thought about it, like meeting him and hunting with him. That's pretty sick.
it played out perfect.
Just fucking pulling him on a string out of the sky,
Well,
dude.
especially afterwards. It's when we were picking up. He ended up saying, "Ryan, you got it.
Really?
You've got it. That right there. That's all I needed."
Yeah.
I made it. I mean, a lot of people measure how they like make it big time by how much money they have in their bank account,
Right.
how many followers they have on social media, how many birds they've killed. Like that's not how you make it. It's who you end up meeting along the way and what you end up taking away from every single experience. And I mean, him and I, Sean and I, still keep in touch. And I mean, we've been able to get multiple hunts since then. And I mean, if anyone ends up having a chance to hunt with Sean, sit back, be all ears. He'll teach you more in a day than you will in a lifetime.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your arm, man?
Hey, man.
You get a cramp?
I really hope he does come to hunt with us because that'd
Well,
be
no.
sick. I just
Time
wanna hear him
out.
talk.
But
But
did
I'm
you
gonna
get a
get-
cramp in your
I
arm
did.
right there?
I
okay,
did.
I just want to make
I
sure.
did.
I don't know if you were stirring the
The wi-
pot or got a cramp. man.
Oh, man, yeah. Sean Stahl hunted up here last year. I don't know if he had a
Sean-
great time, though.
He was with Joe Rowe.
Oh, no. He was with a different guy, too. He didn't have a good time.
It happens. Happens on them big jobs.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I don't know. Another.
I just know if Sean Stahl was giving me advice on how to set my spread up, I'd take it all day long. I would have just let him take the hunt over.
I'll tell you what. When Paul
Do your thing.
When Paul came out with me, and we talked about it on the last podcast too. Depending on when this one drops, Paul, I'll show you the video after so you get it. Is the best turkey guide in Michigan. Like I said, I'll show you the video after so you understand it. But
fuck yeah, he is.
when he came and hunted with me last year, I was like, man, you've been doing it a long time. I'm not gonna bring the call out. Here's the field, birds right there in the tree.
Have at it.
Show me what you got, man. I just want to learn off you.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do that.
Being able to be humble and put yourself in a position
To be vulnerable.
Yes. And to learn.
Right.
Yes.
You're always going to take more away from being humble and being able to sit back, let someone else take the reins.
Just soak it
Yeah.
in.
You know how much, like, if me and you, if we spent, like, every day around Paul for, like, a month, like, think how much knowledge you would have about everything. He always says, like, these one-off things you would never think of, too. You know what I mean? It's like those little things.
I know.
Like, fuck, I never thought of it that way.
I know Glenn's probably going to be listening to this. And he's
God.
going to judge me if I say, yeah, I agree with you. I'm learning from Paul.
I'll say it then.
But, Glenn, if you are listening, cover your ears. Yeah, I agree with you, too. But one last question I got for you. Maybe two more questions. Guiding. It's got to be pretty hard seeing clients shoot these crazy birds. I know, like the two silver geese or the two. I don't even know.
Leucistics?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Leucistic.
Okay.
Leucistic,
Does it start with an A?
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Come on, man.
That's got to be tough to see some guys shooting them birds like that, or like some like crazy. Maybe you haven't seen some Jack Miner shot or anything, but like, you know, it's got to be kind of hard for you in the background.
Oh, I'll tell you what. When Riley and Brennan shot them leucistics, guess where I was? Sitting on a field, scouting it
Oh
for
man.
2.5 hours.
Oh man.
Hey, I was just happy I got the FaceTime call of them finally killing those birds. But I mean,
it's a gratifying feeling, I'm sure.
It is. I mean, especially it's like, I mean, I've had multiple hunts where we've ended up having like a snow goose end up coming in, or a blue goose, or a specklebelly, and it's like the clients don't end up seeing it. What, like, especially snow? How do you not see it?
Yeah, it's not a seagull there, bud.
But I mean, at the same time, it's if you're, if you're so focused on what's going on around you, and pretty much like every flock, it's like chaos for a new hunter, and if you're not keyed in on like every single like one bird at a time, you're gonna miss a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
flock shooting.
No. Like just like for example, wise, you see one flock and you're set on that. How many times does that second flock just like bake in on you and you never even see it there?
Yeah.
Like you just
all the fucking time.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, we
or you're watching one flock coming from the left, and then all of a sudden
that
you're
right
fucking right behind you or some shit on you.
Right, or behind you. And they're
right in front of you.
Feet down.
Yeah.
Like call a shot last second.
Well, it's
apologize for it possibly being a bad shot call.
Yeah.
Just because they caught you off guard.
Yeah.
We had that in,
all the time.
I'll just say where you're working at because I don't think we disclosed that area where you're working at. But
no, we didn't.
Over that area, I called a shot on some geese, and I think it was like a 3-pack of geese, and they just kept on flying. Left side of blind shot, they just kept on flying, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, them birds were about 15 yards off of our blind. How are them birds still flying away? And I'm watching these birds fly away, just like you could see almost just like a question mark over my head, like what's going on?
We character.
Yep, I've had that a lot, especially with snows. Well,
and then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, like a mallard falls out of the sky and just lands right in front of the blind. I was like, where did that even come from? I didn't even see those birds. Nobody said at the geese, but they said at the ducks that were 50 yards above us. Like I was calling at the birds. Like, where did that even? It honestly scared me. I had no idea. But like again, like you're blinded to what else is going around you. You know
exactly.
But you got anything else, man? Any other questions?
Man. No.
You got any questions for us?
When you guys coming out to hunt?
Man, no, we need to. It's tough, man. Like
I love that area too. That's one of my favorite areas to drive. I used to drive that like I-80 line, like above it, Indiana line, to go to Green Bay to come back home all the time for work.
90.
I was telling Kyle, like, dude, there's so many blinds out there in Indiana on some of those fields. Some of those fields are flooded, like purposely, you can tell, and shaped for it. Crazy, man. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
How I knew there's a lot of geese and ducks that migrated down that way.
Especially when you end up getting closer to Illinois.
Yeah.
The bottom of Lake Michigan.
Yep. And that shit is just gnarly, dude. You can tell.
Especially
pretty sick. It's
when
really
it gets
pretty
super
too.
cold.
Yeah. Oh, I
thousands
bet.
of birds down there.
Pretty area though too.
Oh man.
Super fucking pretty area.
it might be just a kind of a selfish thing for me. I just like the whole process behind the hunt. The guy, like the scouting, the whole build up. So it's hard for me to go anywhere, man. It really is.
Yeah, Kyle's got a hard time leaving the area.
I do.
I want him to get out and see more, and see like Arkansas and shit.
Which I'm
and
going
if we
to.
go to
I'm
North
going
Dakota,
to.
maybe go freelance North Dakota for like 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Just kind of travel more, but
it's hard because
it's
I
his
kind of
baby.
want to show him the world.
Yeah, it's his baby though.
I know, but I like that build up though. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the.
That's what I was telling you. Like I'm like you in that way. Like I told you this when I went down to Arkansas. I was there for like 8 days. I didn't know what else to do. Me and my buddy were like, let us help. This is what we do every weekend. Like let us help.
It ain't
like,
nothing to it.
You know what I mean? Like I felt uncomfortable
Yeah.
sitting there and just letting them fucking do everything. I couldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to help out and be part of it. It made me feel more.
Don't let them fool you. They were smashing stop signs at the end of the night. They were smashing mailboxes. It is what it is. Hawk.
You weren't supposed to disclose this dirty little secret.
I know, dude. Come on.
That was
It's
a
like-
lie. That
I
was
mean-
a lie I just said.
One thing
It was.
like, especially one thing with us, that we end up incorporating to all of our hunts. And,
Yeah.
I mean, there's clients that like kind of feel they feel bad because we end up setting up
Yeah.
the decoys, the blinds, brush them in before every single hunt. They're like, oh well, you guys didn't have to do all the work. Yes,
That's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
we do have to do all the work because
Right.
this is what we end up. This is pretty much the product that we sell.
Yeah.
And we want to give you guys a stress-free experience every
Yeah.
single time.
Just show up and shoot,
just so
man.
just so you guys can pick your blind,
Yeah.
pick your seat, and just focus on the hunt and just focus on the camaraderie. But I mean, there's even times where we end up having clients like, all right, since you guys end up setting everything up for us, can we just please help you guys pick
up? Yeah.
Okay, you know what? We're not going to ask you to. If you're going to twist our arms, okay.
Yeah.
We'll let you help.
That's yeah.
Do you guys shoot a lot of A-frames or layout blinds?
Layout blinds.
Man, I hate you guys.
I love layout. I'll never. That was the first time I ever hunted was in a layout blind. First few times. I love it. It's just very intimate.
My very first waterfowl hunting experience was actually in my parents' backyard. They have a field back there, so it was the first time the field was ever wheat.
Yeah.
And it's the only time it's ever been wheat. Well, so it's actually my best friend's older brother. He ended up taking myself and my buddy, and then he brought two of his buddies out. They were all in the Avery Finishers, KW1 camo, and he ended up putting my buddy and I underneath a burlap tarp and end up putting wheat stubble on top of us. Well, these birds end up coming in right over the tree line. They were cupped up before they even hit the trees. I still do it till this day, the same exact way, even 18 years later. And they end up coming in. We end up shooting our 5-man limit in 20 minutes. And it's more just like what you can take away from the experience.
Yeah, like
And
you guys probably bullshit and laughing the whole fucking time, dude. I love those hunts. Those are my favorite.
I remember that hunt till this day.
Yeah.
Everything that went into it, everything.
It's just fun.
It's
just you don't expect anything,
No.
and you just are fucking in the moment having fun, dude.
having no clue what goose hunting really is.
Right.
It's just, hey, there's a there's a bunch of geese back there. You should ask your parents
Right.
to go hunt them. Yeah, go for it.
Yep.
I just feel like it's tough though when you get a bigger group of guys because it's so easy like to peek and pie face it all. Like just like looking
Oh,
at
for
the
layout?
blinds
Oh,
and
layout?
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
No,
You don't think so?
no, it's a lot easier to hide them.
Well, I'm saying like just your faces, like people like people that are wanting to see the birds and stuff. I feel like it like people just pop their faces out and just want to see.
They do, but it's like when you went.
It looks more of like a big row when you have a ton of people, I feel like, right? Like more of like a
Well, that can
mound
go
of shit.
that can go both ways though with the A-frames and the layouts. I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
because I mean that's why we run usually more A-frames than we actually need, just because if we have.
You have to create your hide in some scenarios.
Right. If we have 5 people, I'd rather run 3 A-frames just to create that more of like a line, like a tree row.
Yeah.
Hey, you all right, man?
There's burped.
Oh,
It was hot.
but like I'd rather make that like that hedgerow compared to just one A-frame in the middle of a field. Just
Yeah.
one big box.
I mean, I love hiding in plain sight. There's a lot of people that don't know how to do it, and especially with layout blinds. I mean, in a wheat cover crop field that was corn for the first harvest, I mean, you end up having in between 2 to 4 inches of wheat stubble coming up.
Right.
Being able to hide in the middle of that and still end up shooting a 7-8 man limit of honkers. I mean, that's a huge win.
I'll be honest with you, and Brendan was the first one to kind of tell me about it.
I know where you're going with this.
Well, where am I going?
T-spread.
Yeah. How did you know that?
Fred Zink and Sean Stahl.
Is that how you learned that?
Yeah.
Because there's been multiple days. Did Brendan tell you that?
And I listened to the podcast.
That little snitch.
Riley and Brendan end up telling me that they talked to you guys about that, and I'm like, I wonder when they're gonna bring it up. I've been waiting on that question.
Yeah, I've been so curious on it because there's been days where I'm like, man, I should have got a hold of these guys and figure it out, because I just never have done that. And
That's funny you're saying that, because like 4 days ago, I was thinking about what they were telling us at the festival, what kind of spread they run. And I remember it had you baffled because you couldn't believe it. And I was trying to remember what they said, and I couldn't remember what so it's a T spread?
The easiest way to describe it is a T spread. You end up throwing an arm right in the center. You can either have it, so it pretty much the pivot point is always going to be in the center. You can either run it straight out front. You can pivot to the left, pivot to the right, pretty much the direction that the birds are coming from. And they're either going to pick the left side of the spread or they're going to pick the right side of the spread.
how far are you running that out, though?
I mean, there's times I've ran it up to 45
With no wind?
yards, with no wind.
And they're landing like with you, or are they landing out?
20 yards, 20, 25 yards.
Because I don't want to be a northern hunt where we're shooting 80 yards at volleys of birds if you pick them, catching my drift.
Well, it's like, and that's just the difference between delivering a quality experience and just
Selling an image.
Yeah, selling
a fake image.
I when they brought that up to me, I was just kind of, the no win days are always the hard days.
They are.
Because they can always just, they
fucked us a lot this year.
Well, the problem is everybody just automatically goes to the hide or every other scenario, and it's like, listen, man, like those birds didn't have a reason to like want to get down right there.
Yeah.
They could land wherever they want to.
Right.
And the calling, the decoys, it was just throwing them off.
Yeah.
That's what you got to take away from that. So, like the T spread, like I was.
Have you learned a lot from that T spread?
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's a huge learning piece about the way on, like if you're like, okay, south wind today blowing this hard, they wanted the left side.
No. He's talking about no wind days. That's it.
Really?
No wind days.
So especially when you end up looking at your weather app, like per day, and it ends up showing like light variable winds or winds
0 to 5 or whatever.
0 to 5 or 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Normally when it's 5 to 10,
it's not shit.
In the morning, it's nothing.
Right.
Up until probably about 11 to 1.
When you're damn near picking up.
Yeah,
right.
well, I mean, when the hunt's pretty much over.
Right.
That's what we go, here comes the wind.
Especially in early season. I mean, early season, you really don't get much wind.
Right.
Especially for us on the west side, we really don't get much wind.
Right.
Now, we get a lot of wind when we're either not hunting or when it's turkey season or just summertime. Everyone's relaxing. But it's being I end up learning that off of their Fred Zing and Sean Stahl's videos. Fred explained it more on his videos than Sean did, but it's more being able to try different things.
Yeah.
That's really where what it comes down to. And it was I really put that arm into effect years ago, and it has never failed.
So you only run it on no-win days?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Well, the whole thing is they could either choose one side or the other. They don't have, like, when you create a pocket,
right?
They can always land wherever they want.
Wherever they want, shortstop, yeah.
So do you run like a line in front of you?
I could even see that working on wind days, though, too.
Like,
or do you just run like a straight here?
Really? You end up running.
I was going to say, does it look like
end
that?
Up running your blinds,
and then out?
Yeah. You end up.
Wait a minute. What kind of pen you holding?
Shit. You end up
Migra.
having your blinds.
Yep.
You end up having your decoys.
Yep.
Okay, so you do run a line.
You have some right in front of you.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it just a rough draft.
Right.
But you end up having
I like it, rough draft.
pretty much your pivot point. Just go and just run it out.
Yeah, that's how I
Now,
pictured it.
either you can end up running it to the left,
Yep.
run it to the right, but the birds will end up picking either the left side or the right side.
And they want
And
in
you
that
can-
pocket,
and
though.
you can run it with A-frames too.
I wonder.
What? What, Mr. Decoy?
I'm just kind of curious on if you can cross shoot that. You know what I'm saying? Like on a cross shoot, I wonder if you could kind of, if you could pivot it a certain way. Like if you pivoted it this way and ran the blinds this way.
You can.
Because, I mean, that way they're not looking at the blinds. They're looking.
Yeah. That's not a freaking bad idea.
Because
I'm just kind of curious
honestly,
on that.
that's a lot better than having your blinds set up. And if you're trying to crosswind, let's say that it's a west wind will be left side coming in.
Right.
Blowing from the left side, and you end up just having all your decoys
on one side.
Just having them on one side.
Because there's what's the point of them landing on the other side?
There's a very good chance. No, not landing on the other side. There's a very good chance of them long landing you.
Yeah.
And landing on the outside of the spread, and that shot will be anywhere between 60 to 100 yards.
Say 50, 60, yeah.
Yeah, really anywhere. And so being able to have that arm going straight out and the decoys being left to right of you, you can end up having them run either in front of you, around you, or behind you, but also having a
pinch point.
Yeah, also having that pinch point.
Right.
But, I mean, always put a few groups right in front for them to kind of be like blockers so that they don't end up.
Now, are you doing like a landing group with that or no? Like a 3 or 4? No, just straight T.
Yeah.
Maybe crooked T.
Yeah. Obviously, you end up staggering them, but it's like you don't want to have like a dead line of decoys. I mean, that doesn't look natural.
And you know, it's pretty funny though. Like even getting into waterfall hunting, you got to run a J, or you got to run this, you got to run that. Man, it's just natural is what I go for.
Yeah,
I mean, you've seen that, but this ain't natural to me, man. So it's tough.
Mr.
Though, you know
Decoy store coming soon.
Neither is a J, neither is a donut.
Well, donuts are more for like the cacklers though.
Not cacklers, lessers.
The lessers, not cacklers. Yeah.
Lessers.
But you
snows.
Differences are what is tough to like run in the mornings because like, you know, you might get that 1 or 2 good volleys and you spend all week chasing these birds. So like trying to change it up to something that you're not like confident in or comfortable in, it just gets tough. You know what I mean? So that was one question that I had to ask for you, is just to kind of see how you ran it and to get a different opinion on it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Though, I mean,
Yep.
like to change stuff up, it gets tough. You know what I mean? You don't know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean because I don't touch decoys.
I know.
You're the only motherfucker that touches decoys, and that's what you do.
It's
and
very, very tough for me to
let other people.
Yeah. set up the decoys, especially when
man.
it's a spread I'm running.
Yeah.
It's like that's not where I wanted you to put them at all.
Right.
But
And
I
then,
mean,
like bunching them up together and they're
Yeah.
facing like
There's
each
only-
other making out. And it's like, dude, what are you doing?
What are you
right here?
doing?
there's only
That was yesterday at the truck.
there's only a select few people
Yeah.
that I will let set up decoys with me because I mean they already know what I'm thinking.
Right.
And especially like if they know where the birds are coming from. I mean,
I feel like a lot of it is like, did you see the field?
exactly.
Did you see what the birds were doing in this field?
Yep.
Because if you did, then you kind of already know. If we got a pretty strong wind, then you probably already got an idea. Because my big thing is I'll run those decoys 100 yards out either way if we have a strong enough wind, because I know they're not going to land on this side.
Yep.
And I know they're not going to
It's
land
that string
down.
to pull them in.
Right, and they're not focusing in on exactly what we're calling at. If you're
Yeah.
doing it smart and
Especially if you end up having a tight pod
right,
of decoys. I'm sorry, but that's not going to look natural.
No.
And that's also not going to help you decoy those birds. Now, the farther that you end up having them out,
right,
you can end up working them in with your call and
Right.
have the focal points be on those pods of decoys coming in.
what I'll end up doing is like my pocket where I want the birds to finish at, and onward, say we got 15-mile-an-hour wind, right? I'll have the heavy amount of birds or decoys on like the pocket and onward. Everything to the other way, I'll just make it real thin to make it look like they're all feeding towards that big pocket of birds, and that's where they're going to want to be at.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that's where they're going to want to kind of suck into. But it's all, like I said, it's knowing the birds that you're hunting.
Yeah.
If
Knowing
you
where they're
don't
coming
know-
from, I think, is huge too. The way you set your spread up,
Well,
how
and
you can
that's-
picture it in your head, how the finish is going to be, how they're going to ride that wind in and land, and
I think that's a big thing.
and watching the field.
And you can also have birds switch up roost on you.
Oh,
I mean, I just had
like the
this,
fucking wind,
I just
dude.
had this earlier in early October where I end up it was in the evening. I end up having birds come from the northwest, and I mean, watch them fly in, and I'm like, well, I already know how I'm gonna set up. So next morning, I end up setting up same exact way. It was a no wind day, plate and variable. I end up running that arm. I end up picking the left side, which is strong. But the thing is, those birds didn't come from the northwest. They came from dead south of us. So they end up switching feeds, did a complete 180. Well, not switching feeds. They end up
Roost.
switching roost and just did a complete 180. And all those flocks came from behind us, minus the ducks.
That's crazy.
So let me ask you this: when a scenario happens like that, do you think that's like the same birds that you were seeing, or do you think that's actually a new volley of birds that came through the night, mixed in with some locals?
How will you ever know?
It can go both ways.
You know what I mean?
It really can.
You know what I mean?
You won't know, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the time you'll see those birds head one way
Right.
at night when you're scouting, and then all of a sudden like they come from behind you. Who knows? Who's to say that those are all new birds to the area?
Right.
And they decoy that good because they had no clue.
Right.
They're all new. I mean, they're all new.
Yeah.
They got no clue what's going on. They met up with some local birds that, I don't know, maybe injured or whatever it may be, and
Tender bird?
or that are familiar with the area.
yeah, right.
And
that's,
I mean, that morning, I end up seeing those birds react the same exact way. They end up coming in. They're keyed in on this one area of the field. I mean, obviously they had to go over me, and I mean, surprisingly, it was like, I mean, obviously early October, we still have birds that have the early season behavior.
Right.
Well, these birds end up coming over. They would come over our right shoulder, pretty much over our left, go probably 300 yards out, and all of a sudden they'd end up taking a big turn. Kind of like how
back
kind of like how stone geese do. They make a big long
Big ass
turn,
loop,
and then they
Funnel
drop
in.
right down. And it's especially like a scenario like that, like running that arm, that helped us a ton. But it's also, that day was more of a day where you had to read the birds on if they wanted to, on if they were going to respond to the flag or if they were going to respond to calling.
I had a guy one time. He said if you could hear them, they could see you. So he would just keep on flying. He would never stop flagging. Like if he heard a
I
goose.
can't stand that.
what?
That's that guy up north that. Maybe I
What'd he
shouldn't have said
say?
up north. I shouldn't have said up north, but
He said if you can what?
if you could hear them, they could see you. Is what he said.
What? That don't even make sense. What if they're behind a tree and they're
He
20 yards
had
behind
his-
you and they're still behind a tree?
This is a true story. He would have his kids out there in a goose.
Oh,
outfit.
this motherfucker,
Yeah,
this
it's the same
guy. Yeah,
run around in the spread while he's shooting birds over his kids.
his kid would be running in the spread with a goose costume on to make it look like there's a live goose feeding, and he'd shoot over his
That's
fucking
not
kid.
safe.
He legit had
That's
like
it's
the whole
insanity.
get up.
Could you picture doing that with? I could never picture doing that with my son. And what is that teaching
Or
your
my
son?
kids, I would never do that.
No, what's that teaching your kids?
It ain't the right way.
By all means, to kill geese
but
at the
let me
expense of
tell
your
you-
life.
Let me tell you one thing though.
Fucking geese. At least ducks.
People from up north ain't right all the time.
That's damn true, Corey. You hear that shit?
So that's probably normal to those guys though. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, obviously it's not a right way to doing it, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
Anyway,
pretty fucked.
Again, do you have any last questions?
No, great talking to you and
Did you got
meeting
any
you.
last questions?
I'm
Actually,
good.
getting to meet you.
Yeah, I
Rather
appreciate
than
you.
just like, hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Later.
We had a lot of good talks.
I appreciate you coming down. I appreciate all the time that you spent and getting to know you even more.
Rather than liking each other's shit on social media.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
about it until Bay City. Honestly,
Yeah.
that was pretty much it. But like I said, getting to know you more, getting to know what you stand behind, and just Rain in itself. I mean,
What it stands for as a company.
yeah, I appreciate everything that you do and doing things the right way. I think there's not enough people that I don't know, look at like outfitters like you and appreciate it like they should. So like I said, I appreciate everything you do. You said you're good.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
Where can people find you at? Any shout outs or anything that you wanted to kind of?
Honestly, just probably Instagram, Rain Guide Outdoors. We're we don't end up posting a lot on there, but I mean, obviously this year has been extremely busy. Getting got a lot of things
Brewing.
Got a lot of things brewing. We have like I said earlier, got a lot of good companies that stand behind us, and we're ready to see what the future holds.
And Rain is, so people know that are listening to this, that are looking to book a hunt. It's REIGN, not rain like the rain. I could see where people would get confused.
RAIN.
Yeah.
It's not like RAIN. Like
Yeah.
Rain.
Can I ask you a question, man?
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Do you look at his hat to say that?
Yeah. You watch me, bitch.
Because
I made sure I wasn't messing it
I
up.
would have done the same thing.
I
just
know.
saying.
I know you would.
And I
Doug.
would have probably still messed
I
it up.
know.
Just saying. But
Hell yeah.
anybody you want to shout out though? Like any?
Yeah, give your sponsors a shout out, man.
I mean, honestly,
They probably help you out a
Matt
ton.
Hicks and Zach with Last Flight Calls, they've stood behind us and backed us up for. Now this is our second year together. Awesome guys, down to earth guys. They have great calls. Apex Ammunition. They, in my opinion, you guys are biased, and so am I. But
Hey,
Are they a Michigan-based company?
no, they're
Missouri?
Mississippi,
Okay.
Mississippi, okay.
Something
Yeah,
with that, I
Mississippi.
thought.
and
that was the name I was
yeah, they've got I mean, in my opinion, some of the best waterfowl loads and turkey loads on the market. And then Bandit Brands, Avery Outdoors. We're definitely blessed and thankful to have every single company backing us and giving us support.
I will say
awesome,
it's pretty crazy though. Not saying like you just in general, but like people say these other companies. It's not like we're like not an offensive thing to say anything like that.
Hell no, man. They help you out. They grow your business. You have a great relationship, but that's your bag, man.
And at the end of the day, you could do whatever you're gonna do. If it works for you, then I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just we got some guys on here that's like, you sure I'm able to
it's like gang wars,
it's like,
dog.
No, man, it's good. Say what you're
Is
gonna say.
Is he a blood or a Crip? You know what I mean?
Well, I ain't gonna say nothing about that, but it is what it is. But no, Ryan, I appreciate you spending the time. What we spend about 4 or 5 hours together with you today.
Hey, and I hope everything goes well with what you got going on.
Yeah.
I'll pray for you guys tonight. I mean, take it easy though. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Again, appreciate it all, man.
Yeah.
All the best to you guys.
Of course.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yep.
So until next time, guys. Thanks for listening in. And did I say that right? Listening in. Okay, I think I stuttered the first time. But yeah, listening in this week's podcast. And until next week, we'll see you guys.
See ya.